Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. We are Millennial Mom. If you don't know who is who, I'm Millennial. This is Mom.
Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, I'm Mom or Kay from Millennial Mom, and today we're back. Happy New Year, everyone. Hopefully everyone had a nice time. Everyone rang in the year with, what you have forward to look to, setting your own goals and aspirations, and hopefully the year is prosperous for everyone. Thank you for joining. Now, today we're going to talk about Married at First Sight, Season 17, Episode 1, Denver, taking it day by day. And you know what? This season has dropped the ball, in my opinion. Like this entire season, it seemed like the honeymoon always is a telltale, but all the couples, minus one, the honeymoon seemed to be the demise of the relationship, because I just don't even know what to say anymore. This has to be, I thought before following the entire Married at First Sight franchise from season 1, but you even go back to like the Chris and Paige thing. I mean, at least that brought drama. It wasn't the best drama, as far as emotional for Paige, but it brought something to look forward to every week, because it had Chris and Paige, it had other people on there, Erica Virginia. They had a whole bunch of people on there that wasn't, they had the ups and downs that gave us something to look forward to. And then we had Married at First Sight New Orleans with Woody and Amani, Karen and Miles, and that whole situation there. So we've had some seasons with Married at First Sight that, even though the couples didn't necessarily work out, except for a handful along the way, but it hasn't been this bad. I was really hoping that after San Diego, which I was really looking forward to, because I'm like, you know what? They've never been on the West Coast before. So, okay, San Diego. All right, West Coast. I'm on the West Coast. I'm like, all right, different type of vibe is bringing. That flop too. Then we're still on the West Coast with Denver. And I say, let's move away from the West Coast unless you do Vegas. I was never a come to Vegas kind of fan, because I live here and you just never know. But yeah, if you're going to do West, do Vegas. If not, stay away from the West, because they're not giving us anything of value, of interest. But this is just my opinion. You can let me know in the comments. Now, it is the couples month-iversaries. And I'm like, that's all? We're only on the month-iversary? It seems like we're past that. It seemed like we're already at like the night before decision day, because that's what the season's given energy for me. But this episode is a little all over the place, in my opinion, because again, the couple there we go. Sorry about that. My system is refreshing the scanning in the background. It's scanning my computer. I thought I hit stop, but it didn't. So I apologize. But what I was saying was, is a month anniversaries. The couples are on the same page with a daily task, to living together, to hug or not to hug, to the afterlife questions come up, and up to and including Orion and Lauren showing up again on the episode. I'm like, for what? Honestly, for what? Let me see who's saying hello in the chat, and hello to everyone on the replay. So here we go. Hello, Sharon. How are you? Yes, Happy New Year. And hello, Miss Dolores. Yes. The season is boring. Yes. Sharon, you said you fall asleep every week and you didn't miss anything. You could catch the replay and be like, oh, that's all that happened, so, and go from there. Oh my goodness. So like, as mentioned, is the month anniversaries. And it just starts off just kind of like gloomy already. They start off with quick scene with Emily and Brennan. And so it's the next morning after Dr. Pia comes to visit the couples to give them advice of how to get back on track, get back on task, to see if they can connect, emotionally, maybe hold hands or find different activities they like to do just to build that connection, because the couples, as we've seen, haven't been able to do that. So Emily and Brennan are, I guess they have time today, because I personally don't think Brennan lives in the same place with Emily full time. I really don't, just based off of what he said in the beginning about he could be there in the mornings because that's his less hectic time. But in the evenings, he's going to go to his own place to, take care of what he needs to take care of, things like that. So, but when we see them, they're making pizza. So I guess he decided that, he had time today or time to film. And they're going over about, again, what Dr. Pia said. And Emily says she wants to figure out and set goals. And even before it comes up, way at the after party, I even typed in my notes, I say, the looks that Brennan gives Emily, you can just tell when someone is into you or not. Whether you're married, whether you have a boyfriend, girlfriend, or whatever is your choice, you can tell by the way someone looks at you. And I mean, Emily to me is trying to force the conversation with Brennan, to get conversation going and what they can do different. But Brennan is frustrated. Well, Emily's frustrated by the conversations too. And I think Brennan is as well, because he's just like, why are we talking about this? Oh yeah, I'm married and I'm on camera kind of thing, so he's going with the flow. Because I think Brennan checked out long time ago. He said it. After they came back from the honeymoon, he just wasn't feeling it anymore. So again, he's going with emotions. Hi, Cynthia. What'd you say? This is the worst season ever. I can't comment anymore. Well, thank you for joining. I'll try to make it quick for everybody. Let's see. So next up, after the Brennan and Emily's quick scene, we have the experts, right? Are they still considered? They are experts in their field, yes. But do we as the viewer consider them experts anymore? We have Dr. Pia, Pastor Cal, and Dr. Pepper. They are actually meeting up with Michael to see how he feels about the process, how he's really taking in being like the jilted groom, and if he would accept, because, they came together and said, you know what, in our 17 years of Married at First Sight, this has never happened, even though it came close to happening once or twice. We want to see if the groom wants another chance. Now, if you all were Michael, if the roles were reversed, would you have accepted a second chance at the process with Married at First Sight? Because for me, I would say I wouldn't. I wouldn't take that chance, because you know what? So he technically didn't get married, so it wouldn't be considered a annulment or divorce, but to bring your family and friends back together for the same process, for them to be like, are you sure you really want to do this again? Because, I mean, what is the guarantee that you will stay married or whatever? But Michael, once he presented with the idea, said that he would. Now, Dr. Pepper, I found it very interesting. She said that she felt bad because she's the one that actually thought that the bride was the actual match. And I'm like, honestly, Dr. Pepper, I'm just saying, plain devil's advocate here. You, Pastor Cal, and other experts that have been on the show previously have all come together to pick matches before, right? And what is the actual success rate? Now, whether they got jilted at the altar or not, a lot of them were jilted at the honeymoon way before this process. And just even watch them go about the season was a chore in itself. So I was just very surprised that Dr. Pepper took that to heart, that someone decided they didn't want to get married. I don't see nothing wrong with that. Unfortunately, it happened on the same day to walk down the aisle. Like I said, a lot of people have thought they wouldn't make it, but they did. But I mean, that's not Dr. Pepper's fault. So she felt like she wanted to give another chance. Would y'all have won another chance? Would you have done it twice? Let me know in the comments if you've done it twice. Sharon, you say, Brennan is a weirdo. Emily's attractive. I haven't seen her do anything that would make him treat her so bad. No, I don't either. I think that Emily is just so open with who she is, whether it be the party girl, the taking the shots, and saying how many people she's been with in the past prior. Maybe Brennan is one of those type of men, and he's giving me the vibes that he is, that Emily told a little bit too much information to Brennan. Like a lot of people, you don't have to be a man, even to a woman. Think about the other show that we watched, the on 90 Day with the Shekinah and Sarper. He said he slept with 2,500 women, and it was up to Shekinah to be like, you know what, that's my man. That's okay. I don't even think about it. Just depends on how much is too much information for you. And I really think Brennan was turned off by everything that Emily presented on the table at the beginning. That's what I truly think that happened. So you wouldn't, Devontae? You wouldn't do it twice? No, me neither. And Sharon says, no way, run, Michael. So I guess I wouldn't do it either. Well, Michael described the type of woman he wanted. And I'm like, why do you have to describe the type of woman you want? Didn't you do that the first time on the questionnaire? Like, why would it change? Why would the type of woman, Michael, that you want would change? You said you wanted someone nice, sweet, hardworking. Hopefully you said that the first time, okay? And then Dr. Pepper's like, oh yeah, I'm sure we could find someone like that for you. While Pastor Cal and Dr. Pia both co-signed that. I'm like, just pull up his questionnaire, look over what he wanted, look at the values he said, and go from there. But you know what? I have to stop and center myself because clearly on this season, they didn't take the questionnaire seriously based off of some of these couples, especially with the Becca and Austin with the religious thing and the Clare and Cameron also with the religious thing, just to name a few. I mean, is it me or are they just like, let me get a piece of paper here. Let me be like, yeah, they said they wanted this. Nope. And tear it up. Like, what is really going on here? Like, their credibility to me, or let me take that back. The show's credibility to me going forward with these couples, especially, we've been saying it if you've been following Married at First Sight for some time, and whether you watch me and Millennial, me or another show or whoever, the consensus is the show is going downhill. Like, what is happening to the authenticity of the show and the people? But anyways, let me get off my soapbox. Let me get off of it. John hello. You said, did MAFS ever take marriage seriously? Real talk. You know what? If you've seen Married at First Sight from, I say seasons 1 through 4, maybe 5, I think that it was truly authentic. That's when the couples, it seemed like they didn't know anything about each other. They had to decide where they were going to live. Like, they didn't have their own apartment to go to. They had to come to that stuff together. They had to talk about finances. It was just a completely different show in the very beginning. Now I think it's more, I don't know, mainstream to maybe compete with other shows, I guess, because that's not it. Now, I don't know if I put this up, this picture. Did I put this up last week? If not, let me show it right now really quick. The Married at First Sight casting singles in Austin who are 55 plus. So apparently that's going to be coming up very soon. MAFS casting. Are you ready to find the love of your life? Exhaust all options. Are you ready to take the ultimate leap of faith? Casting singles who are 55 plus. So I don't know. Maybe they're trying to go a different route. And a lot of people have said that before previously about, maybe you need older couples, but I don't know. This season of Married at First Sight is, when I say older, I don't mean like the oldest group they've had, but they're in their 30s because before it was like 20s, maybe a person that was in their 30s before, but this is, a little bit different. All right. Well, let's move to, Michael said he would try again. All right, let's move to Clare and Cameron. So they're out having fun, and that is fun in quotations, because are they really having fun? Clare and Cameron, I mean, since Dr. Pia came last week, even before that, but we'll just go from, 2 weeks when we left off, that they were having a hard time then. Cameron wanted to jump ship then, and Clare had to like reel him back in, like, no. Remember what Dr. Pia said. We need to continue to try to find things we like and focus on that, So now that they're out having their fun at their activity, they're at a skiing activity. I didn't even know these things existed, but then again, it doesn't get cold like that here. So I guess maybe it does in other parts of this the world, so they're out skiing. So, but why does Claire want to ski to go through Cameron's legs, though? Cameron didn't even seem like he wanted to be there in the first place. And I'm like, just try to like focus on skiing and just doing other things like together. And then after that, then maybe you could have your conversations. I mean, they tried, but it was just so awkward though, right? It really, truly gave this. All day long. It gave crickets to me all day long. Not just this activity, the whole entire episode gave crickets. Okay, so after they finish their activity, what it lasts like per editing? A whole 10 minutes maybe. When they sit down, they talk about where they feel like they're going. Cameron says in confessional, he feels like he's given everything to the relationship and he feels like he's checked out. Claire was like, well, you know what? I didn't sign up to be in a platonic relationship. And the look that Cameron, it was the look episode last night, in my opinion. The look that Cameron gave to Claire was like, oh, really? For real? Like, I've been telling you this since the beginning. You just now catching up to me. So, like, what are you trying to say to me? And Claire apologized. She goes, you know what? Yeah, I didn't realize it was, all this going on. It was just me. I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, you can cut the tension with the knife with Claire and Cameron. May I ask in the comments, who thought Claire and Cameron was going to make it past the honeymoon? Anybody? One, if you thought they were going to make it past the honeymoon, or two, if you did not. I'm a two all the way down the line because they were just boring to me. It just never seemed like was connection. And then if you watch the Married at First Sight after party, there was lots of tea dropped at the after party by Claire and before last night. And then even when Cameron came on the after party for his first or second time, when he didn't have his ring on, oh yeah, that was a telltale sign something was going on. So yeah, two, yeah, exactly. Okay, let's move to Becca and Austin. So the front runner couple, in my opinion, because they didn't seem like they had a whole lot of problems. Becca starts off crying in confessional. I'm like, what's she crying for? But apparently her and Austin sat down to talk about religion. And apparently things weren't going well. So then Becca and Austin asked for a face-to-face or FaceTime with Pastor Cal. And during the session, Becca said that she feels that Austin, when they pass on, that because she didn't have the same religion, that maybe she was going to HE double hockey sticks. Maybe she was going to hell. I'm like, this is why you cry. See, just another reason why, if you're not on the same page religiously, and if that is your key to your life, because it's the key to mine. Like if we're not equally yoked like that, a relationship long-term could never work out. Now, if we were just, kicking and doing whatever, that's different because there's nothing attached. But what is happening here? So Pastor Cal had to talk her off the ledge. And I'm just like, that threw you off. I mean, like, was he mean about it or something? Because you knew you both didn't have the same religious beliefs when you first started. So I'm just kind of wondering, like, how Becca got, like, all down in the dumps about that. I see you backstage. I'm going to read a comment that I'm bringing up. Sharon, you say religion is a big problem and she should have never been matched with a Christian. I thought she said that she didn't care. Like, if they could mix and mingle, together and get on the same page, I thought she said it wouldn't bother her. So that's why I'm just, like, kind of concerned. Well, not concerned. I'm concerned for her health, yeah, but I'm just kind of, like, thinking, like, where did all this come from where she's so broken down when it came to that? So I don't know. I was real confused with this episode. I'm not going to give them the cricket, even though I think it deserves it. I'm going to let her slide on it since it's really their first issue this time. All right. Are you ready backstage? Okay.
How y'all doing?
Hey, Devontae. How are you?
Good.
Good. What you think about what I said so far? I talked about Clare and Cameron. I'm on Becca and Austin. The experts with Michael, giving him a second chance.
Michael just want to be on TV.
Yeah. Did you see the after party?
Uh-huh.
You did?
Hmm.
Okay, we could talk about that after the fact. All right, one more comment, then I'll get back to you. Jonda, you say Becca used her tears to manipulate Austin. She knows he ain't really into her.
I mean, I just feel like me and my wife was discussing this. I mean, what's the big deal? I feel like. I mean, if you don't believe, that's you.
Right.
If he's willing to be with you, even though you don't believe, okay.
Mm-hmm.
What's the problem? When y'all have kids, okay, sometimes y'all go to church with daddy, sometimes y'all don't.
Yeah.
What's the
I mean,
problem with
there's. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just saying, what's the problem? I mean, at the end of the day, you could let your kids decide. How about that? Just be open. Let your kids decide what they want. You know, dad takes them to church a couple times to see if they like it. And if they like it, let them go to church. It's not
Right.
that big
I
of
mean,
a deal to me. I mean, it is. It depends on how like important religion is to them. Like on a scale of 1 to 10, if it's a 10 for him, then she not the girl for you. But if it's not that high, then
I'm telling you, when they came back from the honeymoon and it was like, excuse me, meet the friends and family again afterwards. Didn't Becca take his friends aside to talk about the religious part of it? And they were saying like, well, we don't know him to be, as religious as, it seems to be.
right.
And, and she was like, yeah, well, we can get past that. And I'm not either, but as long as we're on the same page. That's why I was confused about why is she so in her feelings about this. You know, I didn't get that. So I think something else happened. And she didn't mention it at the group get together of why she's so in her feelings like that. And I just like,
I think it might have. He might have just like gave her PTSD. That's probably because it seems like basically she gave up on religion because of what happened in her experience at church, and then him just saying, just basically just saying like, I mean, when I go to heaven, I know you probably gonna be in hell. I still love you. That just probably made her feel judged, like she said in the beginning, on how she feel like religious people judge her or whatever. They probably just put her in a little tizzy.
yeah, I mean, yes, Sharon. She said Austin said she was going to hell. I think what she said was she did say that, but the reference of if you don't believe in Jesus, that's where you're going. He said he grew up being taught that. He didn't
I mean,
necessarily say, if you don't, that's what's going to happen to you if you don't believe. Because just like Pastor Cal said, no one's been there before. You don't know where you're going. You don't know what's on the other side or whatever. So how can you be like so into that? But for this couple, anyways, I know somebody who's like real ABCD religious will argue down with that fact, but we're talking about
but
this.
my thing is if you not religious, if he say you going to hell, you don't believe in it anyway. So if you don't believe in it, I'll be like, oh, okay. I mean, I'm glad you love me.
Mm-hmm. So then, she tried to switch the conversation of, um, well, Austin said that, he was real sleepy, he was real tired. He told me he loved me and then, went to sleep. And Pastor Kyle said, we tend to say we love somebody before we know we're in love with somebody. And I'm like, how did that pivot into love thing? So I think Becca is unsure. I think they've been unsteady anyways because they've only been talking about fun things, games, activities, kicking it with friends, eating, partying, stuff like that. They haven't had anything real solid, So I think Becca is a little wishy-washy with this. I don't think Austin is. I don't think so. I'm not getting that from her. Sharon said, right, Devontae, she doesn't believe anyway. So,
That's
mm,
all I'm saying. I'm just like, I mean, you crying for what? If you
yeah,
like this man, can you just go? Can you just commit to go just showing up to church once every blue moon? Is that too hard for you to do? Just go
yeah,
to church and stay in there, sit there, listen to the music. He got a Catholic church. Them church that don't be long anyway.
it don't be long. I've been in one.
30, 40 minutes tops. You
It
in and
don't be
out. You can't do that for love for every Sunday real quick. It ain't
long.
that serious. You may change your mind. I think
Right.
she's one of them people. She got hurt in the church a long time ago, and she mad at God for some reason or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And she just did a bunch of research to She just went crazy with it. I think that's what happens when you get the internet and all that. You start researching too much, then before you know it, oh, I guess I'm agnostic. You like, ma'am.
Yeah. Uh, I guess I don't know. I think it's a little bit more deeper than that too, with her internally. So you have this religious difference, which is big, and then you have your medical issue. So
But I don't really feel like that's the biggest problem. That's the beyond the problem. The big problem is she don't know if she want to have kids, and you want kids.
yeah,
It's either you do or you don't. There ain't no such thing as I mean, I'm down if you're not. If you're not, I'm not. Look at here. I want kids. Do you want kids or not? Don't tell me
right.
you down. Don't tell me
Hmm.
you going with the flow, and then when I'm ready to start trying to have kids, you hesitant because you're wasting my time. Go ahead. If you don't want to have kids, just say that. But
Yeah.
don't just drag me along because you actually like me and you don't want to lose me. If you don't
Hmm.
want to have kids, just say that. Quit wasting my time.
I agree with that. I agree with that. All right. Oh, Sharon says she hasn't been talking about her health issues. Not this episode, but she has. So, but anyway. All right. So let's move to Claire and Lauren and Cameron and Orion, that meetup. I said, what made them go to them as if they had advice, solid advice to give anybody?
I definitely ain't listen to Orion. The Onion? I listen to him about no females.
Onion or Olion? You hear people call him Olion.
Hell, I'm not listening to him about nothing. For one, why they still on this show? It's the same. Them two, him and Lauren had the same conversation. Oh, I think I like you. I think we can try again. Are you
Mhm.
sure? Nah, never mind. I don't think we should try again. It's the same thing. Why y'all keep bringing them back?
Exactly. So Claire tells Lauren that she knows Cameron's leaning towards divorce and says they hit a wall. And Lauren says, well, are you focusing too far ahead? I'm like, too far ahead? This is their daily. Cameron, last episode or before we left on holiday break, already said he didn't want to live there and then said that he would go ahead and stay in the second bedroom. So what is too far ahead? Cameron's already told her that, but I don't think Claire has mentioned this to Lauren. But the trip for me was Cameron co-signing Orion about the decisions because he was like, I'm gonna talk in past tense. I said, here we go. There it is right there. And I'm like, why would you think? Well, I'm about to answer my own question. I think Cameron wanted to talk to Orion because he wanted to know how easy or not it was to leave the situation because Cameron already had 9 toes out the door anyways. So he knew that he wouldn't get that from the experts. The experts would encourage him to stay. That's why he talked to Orion. But Claire, she could talk to any of the ladies. They know what's up. They know what's up. And I don't think they should be part of the show either because it's like, what do they have to offer? Honestly, I get Lauren could be friendship for the ladies, but Orion, nah.
First of all, Cam and Orion looked like a whole couple when they walked in.
Sharon said that was odd. Onion and Lauren being counselors. It was. This is how you know they have nothing more to add to this season. They have nothing more. They have this marriage that's going to come out the blue next week. So we have to relive this. We're already on episode 11. There's
Right.
technically only 16 episodes on a typical married
Right. So are they
side
gonna
season.
fast forward the new dude and his wife? First of like, what are we doing here? Are they not gonna get to go on a honeymoon experience? What they gonna do? So they got to make a quicker decision because y'all messed up.
Correct. They have to make a quicker decision. So, because next week, I hope next week when they do for them is going to be, I hope it's not just them, but it might be, I don't know, the wedding dress and he should already have his tux still. Like, hey, you remember that tux I had on like 2 weeks ago? You still got that in the back? I'm not trying to be funny, but for real, you know what I'm saying? He already know the tux. She getting her dress. They should do all that in one episode and get married too. We don't need this for 2-3 episodes.
I might need to tell him quit wearing that crown. Just stop, sir.
So
Let it go. If you're a real king, you don't need that.
John co-signed you. She said Devontae, Onion, and Cameron look like a couple.
They did. When is everybody gonna just say Cameron is a weirdo? He's a weirdo. He collects spiders on the trap and keep them. He's a weirdo.
You know what? I got something extra to say about Cameron. when we wrap up this for next week. Because Cameron said something to me. I'm like, yeah, this sounds familiar. I want to know if y'all think so too. I'm not going to forget. I know I'm getting older and I got chemo brain, but I typed it to
You said
remember.
Cameron said something to you?
No.
Oh.
I said
Oh.
at the end of the show. End of the show.
Oh, okay.
And for next week. All right. So let's jump to the month anniversaries. So Claire says her and Cameron will not be celebrating. I was like, wow. Now we have seen, and I say we, if y'all watch Married at First Sight, and I know Devontae, you've been there for these shows too along the way. We've seen people who didn't get along, but still was at the month celebrating something just because, right? I think this is the first time that we've seen a couple that didn't. You know what I'm saying? So the word of the day is lack of communication, lack of effort, lack of everything. But Cameron, when we see him, he said he had his hand around his buddy. He said, "Oh yeah, I went on the trail ride and I had a good time despite being away from my wife." I said, "There it is, there it is." So he texted her, was like, "We're not doing this today. I don't feel like it." So Claire feels bad about that, and I guess. Anyways, so Becca and Austin, they receive a message from the experts in honor of their anniversary. They see a video of their wedding day. And when they were watching the video, that perked up Becca. And did I say Becca or Emily? Yeah, Becca and Austin. That perked her up. She was happy in the moment. And I don't know. I think that, again, there's something more going on with Becca and Austin. You can't tell me there's not. There definitely is. And unfortunately, I think that we won't know exactly what it is until maybe a couple, like right before decision day. I honestly think it's not all going to come out until then. So Emily and Brennan are out horseback riding in the snow. Why did he say he liked riding his horse Gucci better than he liked being with Emily? I said, oh my goodness. What is really happening here? Emily Pete came on the shade, and she's still pushing for support from Brennan and still pushing to try to get to know him. Brennan is just checked out. Now, question to everybody, as always, do you think Brennan is intentionally pushing Emily away? Because remember when we met Brennan, his father said that once you're married, you're married. There's no divorce. So maybe he keeps pushing Emily away because he knows he really don't like her, for her to be the one to be like, yeah, I got the divorce. What y'all think? One, you think he's trying to push her away? Or two, you just think it's just all part of Brennan's game? I think he's trying to push her away. I think he'd be like, yeah, you know what? That's it. See, we're not cool. So go ahead.
Yeah, I just don't feel like he a real man.
Okay.
Because at this point, bro, end it. Y'all not having fun.
Mm-hmm.
You don't answer no questions.
Right.
It's pointless. You keep on. We're taking it day by day. Each day is terrible after the next terrible day. It's awkward.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Be like, quit taking it day by day and just end it now by now. End it. It's okay. It's okay. Y'all all matched wrong. Just say
Every
you
one of them.
just say you're not attracted to her. You thought you was gonna get a supermodel or something. You thought she just not your type. Just say that. Is you not in the blondes? Do you want brunette? What is it? Just tell it. If you can't tell it on, just break up with her. Then tell your friends. Just quit lying.
Honestly, like I said, I feel like everything that Emily put on the table, she gave too much information. And you know the cliche, I think Brennan maybe put her in the umbrella of you can't turn a blank into a housewife. That's what I get from Brennan. He's not seen her like she's not meeting wife material to go forward like my mom kind of thing. It's just not given that. It just isn't.
I
So
mean, but how you gonna judge her for that? And you a runner. You're a
yeah.
runner. So therefore you're not marriage material either, because you can't run from your marriage. So all this, your parents been together, all this. So basically he letting us know that his parents been suffering together for years and he don't want to be like them. That's
Well, he
basically
did
what it
say his
is.
dad
Or he
was
acting like
excuse me, he did say his father had an alcohol problem, so mom suffered. So did he.
mm.
So
Right.
mm,
I've never your dad been an alcoholic all your life, but they only made you mad once in your life. Sounds like pent up anger or something. I'm no therapist. But that don't sound like that's just easy breezy cover girl. Your
Right.
dad was a whole alcoholic and you was only angry once in your life, sir. Who are
Once in
you?
a life to his parents. He said, I was only angry at my parents. I'm like,
Do that even make sense? Your
it doesn't
dad,
make zero sense.
an alcoholic only made you mad once.
Right. So that's Brennan's story. That's his story.
And
So
he ain't gonna. He just a liar. He just a liar, and she a glutton for punishment. At some point, what's her name? Becca? No, not Becca. What's her
Emily,
name?
Emily.
Emily. You
Mhm.
gotta have some self worth, some self respect. You don't owe him nothing. You only know him for 2 weeks. I go back to the streets, Emily. You was better off in the streets. Get out of this. I'm sorry. It ain't
Uh-huh.
worth it. He
It's not
not
worth it.
he not all that for what? He not talking to you. He didn't even want to move in. He
Right. It
got
didn't help
upset
you
because
with
you
nothing? Yeah, no.
yeah, he got mad. He said he only been mad one time in his life, but
One
he
time.
got mad at you on the trip. That he already lied. So now you've been mad 2 times in your life because you got mad when I asked you, was you having fun? I'm not mad. I'm just asking the question. Yeah, you
Right.
asking it angrily, and now your tone is dead, and now you only want to play no more. Like you're
Right.
angry, dude, and you want to
Right.
keep. I mean, hey, I think I understand that because I'm kind of like that. If I get angry, I sit
Hmm.
here and keep saying I'm not angry, knowing I'm steaming inside. But
Of
like at this
course.
point,
Yeah.
like, dude, you on TV. We can all see you're upset. Like you, the messed up thing about Caucasians, y'all emotions show in y'all skin,
Oh, oh,
turning red.
uh.
Oh, not just Caucasians, because I mean I can get red too. I'm sorry,
Yeah, yeah,
but
but not just that. Not just that. That was Orion's problem. That was Orion's problem. See,
what?
about the turning of the color. That was his problem.
Right? How you gonna lie? I'm not upset. Dude, you were just pale. Now you're pink.
Right. Hi, Jazz. She says he doesn't know how to put a name to. He doesn't know how to put a name to his feelings, so he's probably been mad and didn't know what it was. Well, he did say he didn't know he had emotions, and Dr. P was trying to say what you're going through is emotions. You know, you have feelings.
Why are you getting married if you don't know what an emotion is, sir?
Right.
How
At
are you
30
gonna be
plus.
emotion? How you gonna be emotional support for your wife? Y'all got married. She's gonna go down one day. She's not. She's gonna get low. So if you don't have no emotions to pick her up, who gonna help who?
Right. He's not there for her. Clearly, Brennan has, from his childhood, he said it, it's not alleged, he said it, alcoholic father childhood, which means he was probably out of control. Alcoholic means you were over the edge, probably abusive, and no telling what else was going on. He clearly has PTSD, had to repress his emotions, and doesn't realize he's having emotions. Brennan needs therapy. All right.
Maybe he think Emily is gonna do like his mom did, love his father through it. But Emily doesn't. She shouldn't have to do that. I only know you 2
Well, you
weeks.
don't
I'm
like
not.
her to do that. So that I don't think that's
Well, you
true.
don't like
You
her. Just
don't
say
like
that.
her.
But who do you like? Because you ain't been with no. Where's the other person at? Everybody you keep on checking out early on. So who's really the problem? You're the problem because people front your surface level. After
Yeah.
after you look good and all that, is nothing behind you. There's nothing to talk about because you don't have any emotions. You. It's like talking to a nice looking rock.
Yeah. So Sharon had said that she may have been tipsy on the honeymoon, but I've not seen her partying since they've been home. I mean, Brennan didn't even help her when she hurt her hand. I couldn't get past that. Hurt her hand and she's dragging her stuff into the
Terrible
apartment.
husband.
I'm like,
Terrible.
who does this? Like even strangers out in the world hold the door for a woman. You know what I'm saying? You know, stuff like that. People you don't know, and this is supposed to be your husband, and he's being filmed. But Emily did say previously that I think on a after party that he's one way off camera than he is on camera. Matter of fact, all the ladies have said that except Rebecca. She's the only one that hasn't said that yet. That they're different filming on camera than off. So, all right. Oh, and speaking of, oh no, we'll get to that later. All right, so let's go to the group dinner. So there's a lot of tension in the room, and Becca starts breaking the ice with a conversation about what advice would they give themselves before the process, knowing what they know now. And I'm like, half of y'all probably wouldn't even been sitting here. But you know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Everybody lied on their advice because my advice was don't do this. They are gonna break your heart. Don't do this.
Right.
This show. Dr. Pepper, terrible advice giver. She don't sleep with her husband in the same house.
Mhm.
Pastor Cal, no.
I
Dr.
mean,
Pia is the only one that I would listen to. Everybody else sucks.
yeah. Emily gives some little speech about what she thought would be going forward, but yet she's still willing to try. And see, Emily's face is transformed to like, to me, like she's pissed, and she should. You know what I'm saying? And so Brennan kind of looks at her like, just like he did with Dr. Pia, like, don't be embarrassing me, not us, me on TV. And then they're like, oh, Brennan, you could go. He's like, no, let someone else go. So then Cameron speaks up and he talks about his misaligned marriage with Claire, but tells the group he wants to be on the same page one day. But how does he say that in the same voice when he's like, well, on the count of three, let's say we want to stay married or get divorced? I'm like, how do you want to be on the same page, but yet do like a rock, paper, scissors to stay married or not? I'm like, that is mixed signals. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3. He said divorced. She said separated. Now, sitting at the table, the group was looking like, this is too heavy. Are you sure you want to do this now? And he's like, yeah. And Claire was like, I guess. You know, she pulled his card like, he gonna do it, I'm gonna do it too. I'm like, if that didn't say it for Claire right there, even though she already knew, why do y'all think that Cameron is so like into letting everyone know that they're having problems when you can already see it? But I think that was real low to rock, paper, scissors, pretty much like 1, 2, 3, married, divorced, or whatever. What do you think about that, Devontae, in the chat?
Mm, I mean, I'm kind of glad that he did it because
Mm-hmm.
it's just finally like somebody had to have the balls to just say it. Just say it. Quit talking about you want to try. You're lying. Nothing about me, Cam, and what's her name? Cam and Claire seemed like they were trying. You first of all, y'all went ice skating. Didn't look too fun to me.
they were
Didn't look
skiing.
fun.
They were skiing.
They were skiing, and that looked it boring. They looked like they was. It looked like they was at work, and they was like, oh, another day of this.
Yeah, it was boring.
It's just dry. It's just not it. You're
I
not
just didn't like
attracted to him. The
I just heard
spiders.
Cameron talk, excuse me, out of both sides of his mouth. He's like, I hope to stay on the same page and we can move forward. And then 1, 2, 3, stay married or get divorced. And he's gonna say divorce. If he really wanted to try based off his comments, he would have said stay married. To me, that was the okie doke. You know, I didn't like that. I didn't like that he did that personally.
But I
Because
think I'm gonna blame the men this season. No man, none of these men have any type of game.
mm-hmm,
None of them. If you get a nice looking woman, she already yours by default.
right.
She walking around, prancing around. She brand new in your life.
Mm-hmm.
How could y'all not have anything to talk about? How could you not flirt with a girl if you think if like they saying they attracted to their partners? If
Right.
I'm attracted to a female and she
Mm-hmm.
coming to bed with her nice little PJs on, she a little thick or whatever. Because if I would have picked her, you know what I mean, she'd have been
Yeah.
like, you know how I like it. I'm
Right.
gonna say something. Dang girl, you look good. You ain't heard none of that. It be dry. Oh, nice shoes. Like
That's true.
what is
That's
going
true.
on? Where's the men? Where's the sex appeal? Ain't nobody gonna get laid on this season though. The men don't know. These ain't no men. Where they find them at? Everybody. Where they find them at?
If anyone had any type of romance intimacy on this season, it would have been Becca and Austin, but they claim they haven't done that either. They've just been like heavy petting and just like kissing. So, I mean, I've never wanted to know that before, but I mean, we can see that nobody's doing nothing. They barely stayed at the same place. So, anyways, Jazz, you say it was inconsiderate considering everyone else is at the table. It discouraged everyone else from working on their relationship. That's true. AS, hello. You say Cameron is toxic. LOL. He has already said who he was. He said he'd like to see how far he can go with people. That is a good point. He did say that. He definitely did say that. And you know what? I think Cameron is also paying the price, and we're going to get to that in later on. So once they do the get separated type of thing, and Cameron co-signed the separate instead of the divorce, that's when Claire said, that she apologized for her actions and making him feel like, you know, her emotions and everything wasn't valid in how she treated him. But then again, you know, she said that at the table, but then on the after party, she says other things. We'll get to that too. I'm like, if you felt that way, why would you say what you said at the after party? Because that doesn't go together either. So I'm not sure if either one of them really wanted to be married. You know what I'm saying? I
Not,
really don't
not,
think so.
not to each other. They both wasn't attracted to each other. She spilled the beans first on the after party when she said Cam told me behind the scenes he liked more slender women. So I mean, none of them women on there are like slender. So I don't know what he was looking for. Maybe he wanted somebody who looked like a swimmer or something.
Emily is slender. Emily's not thin. Of all of them, she's more slender, I guess. You
I
know,
mean, well, maybe he wants somebody that's a toothpick. I don't know what he wants.
I guess. Well, then we get to back to Emily. She gets
Mm-hmm.
upset. She walks off, goes to the bathroom, and Brenna's like, I'm going to come with you. I mean, did he really think that he was going to come with her where? To walk her to the bathroom? Or I'm getting the feeling that Brennan would have actually went into the bathroom to like escort her. He gives me that type of vibes. Like, I'm going to go in here with you to make sure X, Y, Z. And that brings me back up to Sharon's point to maybe his mom took the mess from his father. So he thinks it's okay to treat her bad. Well, that's a good point too. Dolores, you said Cameron is not serious. It just ended with just a bunch of loose ends. I mean, so we have Claren and Cameron done. So if they're done, are we not going to see them on this? So who's left on this season? We have barely Emily and Brennan, Becca and Austin, and then we're going to be introduced to Michael and Chloe. So we got to get to know them. Because honestly, Emily and Brennan, based on next week's previews, he's out the door too. So who we left with? So, anyways, there's a lot of sadness and disappointment with the couples this season, and you can see it. No one's in a good standing. But next week, jilted groom Michael gets another chance of marriage with Chloe. Cameron says he developed a heart condition after separation. Now, this is what I was going to say. Didn't Cameron say before the holiday break that the reason why his dad is on his deathbed is because when his mom and dad got divorced, his dad's lungs collapsed and he had heart issues, everything like that. So now it's happening to Cameron. Okay, Cameron, that's where weirdo vibe comes in with me, because that don't even go together. Okay. Then we have Emily and Brennan again, like I said, looking like they're going down the separated or divorce road. And Dr. Pia gets a phone call from Claire crying upset, wanting to get advice or direction of her divorce and or separation. But did y'all hear that though with the upcoming previews with Cameron and his heart condition? I'm like, you just said that about your dad being on the deathbed. So now you have it too? Cameron, make it make sense. I cannot. Did you hear that, Devontae?
Yeah, I seen that. I was like,
He was like, whatever. AS says, I think Cameron suffers from mental health issues from his dad. It seems his dad suffers from some sort of depressive disorder. Being raised by that, well, he's bound to have some problems. I guess. But it was his choice to up and leave. That don't mean you can't be heartbroken, but he didn't seem like he had a connection to even be like or feel like he had a broken heart. So I don't know where he's coming from with
where's
that.
his mother at?
He didn't say. He just said that his dad is, laid up on his deathbed because of
Okay,
the
your
broken
dad
heart.
on your deathbed, but where your mom at?
Yeah, I don't
Where
know.
your
Where's his
mama? You
brother
can't
at?
call your mom. You don't. Claire ain't never said nothing to your mom. You just out here in America, just living your best life, not
No
talking
one
to
has said
nobody.
anything to his mom. No one, not even him. Not even him. So, all right. So on the after party, it was Michael, Becca, and Claire. Michael said he's happy with his new match. He said he felt reassured by his family and friends for getting another opportunity. And he said he talked to his cousins first, who told him it was cool to give him another chance. Now, when I originally saw Michael and when I originally saw Orion, I thought they were the same person at first. When I first saw the previews of Married at First Sight,
Mm-hmm.
Michael gives me very eclectic too, just like Orion. So I don't know. What y'all think about Michael? What y'all think about him? You think he's gonna be, mm, I don't know, over the top, a little too much, or what do you think he's gonna bring to the show? What y'all think?
Nothing. I
You
don't
just so
think.
right.
I just don't think. I don't. I think this is the last dip. They must do an extra 5,000. Please get married again. With the
I think so
season
too.
of suffering, we beg you, please, 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 please. Look, we'll get a spinoff. Like what they give him behind the scenes? There's no way. And
I don't know.
that lady look older too. Like how old is that lady that he marrying?
I don't know. We'll have to find out. I have no
She
idea.
look like she about 40.
Okay, well, she's 40. You act like 40 years old.
I mean, it
Michael gives
depends
me
on how old
Ryan.
he is.
Oh, AS says Michael gives me Ryan, the black one vibes. Oh, Ryan and what was her name? What her name? Claire too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
Clara. No,
Clara.
Clara.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because he's a flat iron in his hair. Oh yeah. Yeah, he does. Jazz, you say Michael is who Orion presented himself to be. He's gonna be a good husband. I mean, we'll see because we really don't know. We just saw him jilted at the altar,
A
and that's
good
it. We just know
husband.
behind the scenes, huh?
I said a good husband. When last time I married at first I had a good husband? Willie? I mean, what's his name? Woody?
Woody, yeah, the New Orleans season,
That was the last good husband. How many seasons ago was that?
a lot. That was COVID. That was 4 years ago. Two babies. They just had their second son, so that was 4 years ago. Anyways, and then Claire is talking about what Cameron is saying on the show isn't true. He's another one who does things off camera. And she said she even tried to make a move sexually. She said because she asked the other ladies about, what could she do to get back on track, because they had a disconnect. I'm like, so a disconnect, and she's about to be a therapist, right? If she hadn't already got her degree, because she was had her getting her master's. So a disconnect with the stranger, someone you don't know, someone who has already said to you, and even some of the other ladies know that he wasn't attracted to you, and you're going to initiate sex,
With
was
the
going to make
man.
him feel differently about you
With the man. Fried.
with, okay. And she said his response was ew. And Keisha said literally ew. She said yes. That would have did it for me. We would have rock, paper, scissors that night. You hear me? When
Ew.
no Pia, Pepper, Cal would have been able to talk me off the ledge. Ew, absolutely not. Absolutely
We
not.
wouldn't even needed them. I would have y'all can take these mics.
That's what I'm saying.
Uh
Dr. Pia, Dr. Pepper, nor Pastor Cal would have been able to talk me off that ledge if I got
like,
ill.
are you sure? I'd have took my past the cow. Look at me.
Right. Like do him like he do you.
Right. I am 1,000% sure. Ain't no man gonna ill me, especially not the dude that collects spiders and his spiders traps and just let it pile up. If it get two spiders on it, two, three spiders, you need to throw it away. And if you got that
Right.
many spiders, why are you just collecting them and look at how big that one is? Weird.
Right.
Weirdo. No, 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 no.
Sharon says, I think Claire was lying about that sex part. Sharon,
Yeah,
you are a supporter. I love you, Sharon. Thank you for everything that you do for this channel and for me. I have to disagree with that because Claire was way too emotional about that. And why would you embarrass yourself on TV saying that about, he wasn't interested in you sexually and you trying to make a move and he said ill. Like, I'm sorry.
that man, the Cameron, really, he wasn't interested in her. Unless maybe he's one of them delusional people
You
who
think she's
really
lying too, Jazz?
it
Uh-uh.
don't make no sense.
I
It
can
just
see Cameron saying ew. I can see Cameron is very what's the word? Intentional. He's very intentional and he's passive aggressive in the things he says. He wants you to know how he feels, but he says it to you like indirectly, like, well, I mean, if you want me to stay, I'll stay. Do you want me to stay? So do you or don't you want me to stay? And then Claire was like, yeah, okay, well, then I can stay in the next room. Like, he's trying to like bait you into, I could see him saying, ew. Listen, I wouldn't put myself out there like that. I just wouldn't. I wouldn't.
I think Claire first of all, Claire is probably definitely out of his league. He wouldn't back her. He wouldn't bag her. I don't care. They wouldn't even look at each other, and they wouldn't even be in the same place. Look at him. He always, his shoulders always up. He always looks tense.
Yeah, maybe he didn't say ew, but I do think he turned her down because if even Lauren said to him on After Party before that he don't like big butts and he feels like she got a big butt and that he would never touch it. If Lauren said that, the sister said it. Oh yeah, he didn't say ew, but I definitely believe she was turned down for trying. I do. Anyways, AS says Claire should have known better than to try that. I'm on her head like I would have been in if Eris if he would have tried that with Jazz last season. You've been dropping gems, AS. She's
I
the best
mean,
for that.
the fact that like, if a man turned down sex, he definitely don't like it. Because most men not gonna turn down free sex. It just don't happen.
Right, right. I agree.
Especially him. Him. Do y'all think Cam is getting laid on the regular? Him turning down sex? He really don't like her.
Yeah, I don't think he liked her. Sometimes, when you checked out, you checked out. I honestly believe that. And if someone's not your type and the whole group knows this and it was talked about on the after party before you even got there, where there's smoke, there's fire. That's all I gotta
So
say
he
about
so he been lying because he's saying he on camera or whatever, he's saying, "Oh, she's my type. I would definitely date her. I would go after her. I'm attracted to her." So which one is the truth? They need to. Where's the cameras that don't ever go off?
Oh yeah, the bedroom cam and the kitchen cam. The kitchen cam be it, isn't it? The kitchen cam. Sharon says she wouldn't even hold his hand or kiss him. How's she going to sleep with them? I don't know. Maybe the same reason why some people think that sleeping with somebody or having somebody's baby will keep them around. I
How
don't
you
know.
going? I can't have sex with somebody I can't even hug. They can barely hug. That last hug for them leaving was the most hugging they ever did. They was like a fist bump couple. It's
Yeah,
weird. Like no, no, no. It
I
was
think you
two
want to
people.
tell her something.
They put two. It was when you mix two people, two weirdos together. I'm sorry. She kind of weird. She kind of weird. Like nobody knew how to. That's what's wrong with Becca and Austin. There's
Mm,
nobody to just go for the sex. She
yeah,
want him to go for it, but we don't know what he thinking. He just be
if anyone is not attracted, I think it's he's not attracted to her. I said that from the very beginning. I don't think he's attracted to her. I think I've said it before. I think the medical issue threw him off. He don't know what's going on down there, and I
hmm
think he don't even want to find out. To be honest, I really don't think so, in my opinion. Jasmine said, "I think he wanted a tall, slender woman. That could be it."
no, he wanted like a model built type woman.
Yeah, maybe she's too short. Maybe her. Some people are into proportions. Maybe she's not proportioned correctly.
Yeah, I got a friend like that. My friend is 6'8", and he really doesn't want to date like a girl that's like 5'5" or
Hmm.
something like that. And I was just like, I don't get it. Like you 6'8", everybody's 5'5" to you,
Right, right, right.
right? But yeah,
Even Claire had said I think at the reception, I remember her saying that hopefully she doesn't. I think she asked him, "Am I too short for you?" And he said no. But Cameron, I don't think Cameron was. He hadn't been telling the truth in the very beginning from his family dynamics going forward. So I think this was his out. So, and then finally we have Becca talking about the real reason why she was crying is because that Austin was designing hats and on her laptop, and it came across a religious symbol, I think the cross, and that's how the conversation got started. And I'm like, so the honeymoon is definitely wearing off because,
he designed his own hats.
yeah, that's what she said. All right, so that was it. That was it. Next week, I don't know how much of the new couple we're gonna see. I really hope it's and not in the effect that I'm gonna say it, but I can't think of another way to say it. But I really hope it's like a wham bam, thank you, ma'am and sir kind of thing.
Please, we
Get
need to
them
see.
done so we can move past to the next episode to get us to decision day because
Right. They
this
need to say they vows, get married. You saw a clip of them dancing, a clip of them toasting, and that's it. We don't need to see them preparing for the wedding. I
right.
don't care.
This is the first time, like they said, this is the first time we Married at First Sight history, but it's also the first time we Married at First Sight history for the viewer too, because We don't want to start all the way over from the beginning when the show is almost over. We're already invested in these couples. So now we got to go back and watch them do whatever, if they even make it. And I'm just going to go out on the limb and say, I bet you they don't make it. They came in way too late. And I did see that the marriage certificate on MAFS fan on IG, if you don't follow, that the original couples got married in January of last year, 23, and Michael and Chloe got married in March of 23. So that's a full 2 months behind. So I hope they edited it real fast because the show's basically
I
over.
think Married at First Sight could be saved. What they need to do is give people a couple options. Make your two picks. You gonna give them five faces, five full body shots.
Mm-hmm.
Out of these 10 men, with two, could you see yourself with?
Yeah, but that's for next season going forward. And remember, they've already taped the next season and a half. So we may
Well,
have to
hopefully they implemented that because at this point, it's showing that it's married. Married love is not blind. Please show them who they're gonna see. It's not blind. The show
Right.
Love is Blind don't work. This show don't work. That means they need to see. So just stop. They could still get married at first sight,
Yeah.
but just say they already know who they marrying. At least what they look like. That's it. That's all you gotta do. They can't get a picture. That's
Yeah.
all you gotta do.
Yeah. It definitely has to change because this season is just not even. I mean, I'm going to watch it till the end, but it's like, I mean, we already know what's going to happen pretty much. We already know. If one couple stays together, it's Becca and Austin, and I'm already teetering on the no. I give them 51% no because she can't get past this one conversation she heard. So that's it. All right. Any final thoughts, anybody, before we get out of here till next week?
Um, boo. Boo. The whole season, boo, boo, boo. Cancel. At this point, cancel Married at First Sight. This is just terrible. At this
Yeah.
point, they might as well just start hiring actors and really just go crazy. They
I mean,
need to have a successful season. So please next season, just hire some actors, the best actors y'all can afford, and make us believe that y'all can do y'all job. Because at this rate, it's it's just break your heart at first sight. Get
well,
disappointed at first sight.
at this point, they are actors. So, right? Not B-list actors. So, anyways, all right. Well, thank you all so much for joining. Again, Happy New Year. I'll see y'all next week. Have a good evening. And until next time, everybody,
Have a good night.
have a good night. Take care, everyone.